Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. So to formally open our orientation today, I will be giving the floor to our chief of the Schools Governance Operation Division, Sir Virgilio Santos.
So first of all, I would like to greet everyone a very good afternoon. So we have with us all our school heads, both elementary and secondary, because our school head will play a very critical role in this new normal, particularly how we deliver learning to our students. So this is learning delivery modalities. No, we have been waiting for this kind of training ever since because it seems that there are a lot of confusion on what learning delivery modalities are we going to apply. But given this scenario that we have now, so there is no one size fits all modality. So as education leader, we must be oriented first because we are going to manage our school, and part of that management is how to capacitate our teachers on the different modalities, because after all they will be the one to teach our learners. So this is a course, no, meaning to say, when you say course, so it is not a one time big time activity. So this is a series of modules and activities to ensure that our school head, being the leader of the school, should understand better what are the different learning modalities. So there are two stream actually. So we have the management stream and the instructional stream. We decided to have this orientation supposed to be with the teachers so that they will have a better understanding also. No? Our teachers should also understand what are the management stream as well as the instructional, and also our school head, not only the management stream but also the instructional part of the learning delivery modalities. So after this orientation, we will conduct series of capacity building by module, because DepEd would like to ensure that before the opening and even after the opening of classes, this kind of activity will continue. So we would like to invite everybody to please keep tuned. Do not miss any part of this series of training, because under the new normal, we focus only on the three essential things when it comes to capacity building. Number one is curriculum designing and the learning modality. Number two is provision of psychosocial support for our learners. And number three is the provision of psychosocial support for our leaders. That includes the division office people and our school heads. So when we design our capacity building, making sure that it is aligned with these three very essential things. And this one for sure is in line with the basic education learning continuity plan. Also, now that we are preparing for our simulation, this is a very, very essential input for all of us, so that we will be guided properly on what are the different learning modalities that we can employ, particularly now that we are experiencing this kind of new normal. So again, I would like to welcome everyone. I would like to invite everyone to please take a closer look. Do not miss any single moment when this comes to orientation, because it will open up our mind on what this course is all about. So once again, thank you very much and good afternoon, everyone.
Thank you very much, Sir Ver. Okay, so before we start our orientation, I'll be giving the floor to our school's division superintendent to give us her short message.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let me greet also our Chief in SGOD, Dr. Ber Santos, and the Chief of CID, Dr. Aida Rondilla, and of course our participants, particularly our school heads and some division personnel. Again, magandang hapon sa ating lahat. Uh, I had attended, along with the other superintendents and assistant superintendents, the stream one of this training, learning delivery modality training. That's for the management stream. And that is also precisely what you're going to undergo today, the orientation. Now, I am glad that I have gone over the matrix of the orientation materials today, and I'm glad that delivery modality was all about uh, the modality that we are also going to apply and implement here in DepEd Manila, because we have the complete resources that are needed for this type of modality. That is, our learners have the gadget. They will be given to them in the form of tablet through our local government, of course, through the support of our mayor, Mayor Francisco Ito Moreno Dumagoso, and laptops for our teachers. Alongside with that is the load, individual loads for each student's monthly, so as well to the teachers, a monthly load equivalent that of the students also, a 10 gigabyte load. Now, having said that, those are the requirements for this modality that will be discussed later today. That is the synchronous learning. Synchronous learning, as you as well know, is is a learning modality in this pandemic situation where an online is desired. So yung synchronous modality, synchronous learning, that happens in a physical environment when there is a face-to-face. But in this pandemic situation, where physical face-to-face learning cannot happen, especially here in NCR, we need an online modality. And we have all the required equipment and internet load. So I know that our principals are already familiar with this because of the simulations that you have already conducted, and for those other schools are preparing for the conduct of the synchronous, of the simulation, I should say, of the modality, learning modality. So this will be an affirmation of or validation of what you have learned, or if there are some gray areas, this will clarify all the questions that you have in mind. So it will help you in the simulation, but most of all, in the actual implementation comes August 24 onwards. Now, what is interesting is there is already a template for the guided self-study. This is the asynchronous portion. So what we are thinking of prior to this is that we will just leave questions to our students, teachers, or we'll leave questions, guide questions for them to follow with the modules at hand or the digitized modules in their tablet. But the NAEAP, or the National Educators Academy of the Philippines, the central office NAEAP, have conceived this guided self-study. So that's what I'm interested about. That's a good, that will serve as a guiding post for our teachers when they're going to leave assignments for the students to work on, and then to be discussed later on when there is a synchronous classroom schedule. So we have already discussed the synchronous classes and the required load that you are going to utilize. So to give you briefly, this is just an estimate for kindergarten up to grade 2, a maximum of 30 minutes a day, synchronous, using online modality, whether it is a Google Meet, Zoom, or Facebook. I don't think MS Teams will be used here because our tablets have an inbuilt office of Google applications. So what we can use there is the Google Meet, Zoom, and Facebook. MS Teams can only be used by our teachers because the laptops can be, the MS Word or the MS Office can be installed in the laptops. But for students, it will be all Google application. Naka-default siya doon. So Going back to the self-study, that will be our asynchronous guide. Now, the question comes in mind when what happens if there is a problem with the delivery in terms of the technicalities on how teachers are going to go about a certain uh, problem or challenge, then this as orientation will give us an answer in the form of the learning action cell and the coaching. Like, may problem ang isang teacher, he wanted to consult somebody, so pwede yun, individual in terms of coaching, but if you wanted to have a group discussion for the consumption of all the school teachers in the school, let's say, then you have the LAC. You could already imagine what a LAC should look like online. We have experienced LAC physically. It's just a digitized version, just like this one, or like our webinar or our online orientation. It is the digitized version of the physical learning action cell. So that's about it. That's how I conceive the learning modality, learning delivery modality, as how we were oriented the first time when all the division superintendents were invited to this type of orientation. So I hope that you're going to gain a lot here and you're going to implement right away in your own dry runs and then learn from it, learn from your dry runs. Let us be open, keep your eyes open, keep all your senses open, and look for loopholes. Ang hinahanap natin ay ang posible nating pagkakamali na mangyayari sa actual implementation. So that as early as now, we can address it, we can modify whatever learning strategy, delivery we have planned, we can modify it so that we can have an almost perfect learning delivery modality comes August 24. So again, congratulations to the team and Desiree, of course, her and the whole SGOD for this activity. And to everyone, God bless you all. Keep safe.
Workshop training.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Magdalena Lim, for that message. So at this point, we'll proceed to the orientation. Okay? So to give all the information and various modalities in delivering the basic education for this school year, we are very lucky to have our speaker for today's orientation. He is the Education Program Specialist of Human Resource Development Division of the National Capital Region. I'll give the floor to Mr. J. R. Pogoy. Let's have a virtual applause.
Sa ating pong mga school heads at sa ating pong mga teachers, ang LDM course po na amin pong ibabahagi ngayong gabi ay para po sa inyo. At alam naman po nating lahat na handang-handa na po ang lahat ng mga paaralan sa National Capital Region sa pagbubukas ng kanilang klase sa August 24, 2020. At ito po ay bahagi po ng paghahanda po natin sa nalalapit na school year 2020 po. So, ibabahagi po namin ngayong gabi ang route map for the Learning Delivery Modality courses or LDM under the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan. Sapagkat naniniwala po kami na ang mga NCR leaders po, no, may hashtag kami, no, hashtag NCR leaders, raising the bar of excellence in education delivery amidst, no, this crisis po. So ano po ba yung learning delivery modalities courses na atin pong ibibigay po sa ating mga division and school leaders at sa ating mga teachers? Of course, ang ating pong LDM po ay supported po ng ating executive committee sa pangunguna po ng ating Director 4, Dr. Malcolm S. Garma, and Director 3, Dr. Carlito de Rocafort as co-consultant, and of course, ang aming pong Chief sa Human Resource Development Division, National Educators Academy of the Philippines, Dr. Felicino C. Tronco. Ngayon po, ano po ang LDM course? Ang LDM course po ay under ng Learning Continuity Plan and it is a response po to COVID-19 crisis. no? Ang legal basis po ng ating pong training na ito ay under ng DepEd Order 001 series of 2020, Guidelines for NAIAP Recognition of Professional Development Programs and Courses for Teachers and School Leaders, and of course, yung DepEd Memo number 50 series of 2020, Professional Development Priorities. Ngayon po, inaasahan na kapag natapos po ang rollout ng LDM course, ay marirealize po yung ating sulong edukalidad, yung ating pong battle cry ngayon, particularly po yung ating KITE, yung letter T po sa KITE, Teachers Upskilling and Reskilling. And of course, ang LDM course po ay giving and providing quality instructional delivery in the new normal. Now, ang objectives po ng course na ito for course 1, which is the management stream, is to improve readiness for remote and multimodal learning delivery, as well as pagbibigay po ng informed decision making in choosing appropriate learning delivery modalities po sa ating mga division leaders and school heads. And para naman po sa course 2, ang ating pong instructional stream para po sa ating mga kaguruan sa DepEd National Capital Region, ma-improve po ang kanilang pedagogical content knowledge and assessment. Now, ang LDM course po ay mayroong mga iba't ibang modules. At gaya po ng nabanggit ko, may dalawa pong stream ang LDM course. Ang una po ay ang stream 1 or ang management stream. The management stream po is intended for division and school leaders who are expected to lead the implementation and to manage the processes that ensure access of learners to quality education. And in LDM Course 1, we have 7 modules. Yung ating pong 7 modules, ang Module 1 hanggang Module 6 ay theoretical. Ang ating Module 7 po ay practicum. Kasi po hindi naman po pwede magkaroon ng face-to-face na training. So, dadaanin po natin sa module. At para natin masukat kung may natutunan ang mga participants sa ating training, meron po tayong practicum. No? So, yan po ang ating Stream 1, Management. And that is for our division and school leaders. Now, for our Stream 2, we also have the Instructional Stream. No, the Instructional Stream purports to equip teachers with general principles of teaching and learning delivery in the new modalities. Sa LDM2 po, meron pong dalawang bahagi. No? Bago po natin matrain ng mga teachers, kailangan po munang i-train natin yung ating mga SDO coaches. So sila po muna ay mag-undergo ng training. Sila po ang unang kukuha ng LDM Course 2 na meron din pong 5 modules. Module 1 hanggang Module 4 po ay theoretical at ang panglimang module po ay practicum. Pagtapos ng mga SDO coaches na matrain, ang susunod na po natin ay ang mga mahal nating mga guro sa DepEd NCR. Meron po tayong training module for our teachers. At gaya po ng bilang ng modules, 5 modules din po ang meron sila. 1 to 4 ay theoretical modules. At ang practicum po ay Module 5. Yan po. So dalawa po ang ating stream of courses. Management stream and instructional stream. Now, duration. Kailan ba magaganap ang mga training na ito? For Stream 1, the management stream, magaganap po ito sa loob lamang ng 10 araw po, yung ating pong theoretical modules. No? So, ang Module 1 po ay mayroong 1 araw na inilaan, Module 2 ay 2 araw, Module 3 ay 3 araw, Module 4 ay 2 araw, Module 5 ay 1 araw, at Module 6 po ay 1 araw. So, inaasahan po na naganap na yung ating LDM course mula July 6 hanggang July 17, sapagkat yung kanilang Module 7 na practicum po ay mangyayari naman po sa August hanggang November 2020. So yan po yung sa ating mga school leaders. Kasama po dyan ang ating mga schools division superintendents, ASDSS, mga chiefs po, SGOD chiefs and CID chiefs, EPSS, yung ating mga education program supervisors sa kanilang mga learning areas, at mga public schools district supervisors. Now, for stream number 2, we have the instructional. No? Instructional naman po tayo. So ang uunahin po natin ay ang training of coaches for LDM Course 2. ito po ay para po sa division and district supervisors na mayroong 5 araw. At inaasahan po na maganap ito o mangyari mula July 20 hanggang 24, 2020. At ang unang module po ay merong 1 araw, 2 araw para sa second module, 1 araw para sa module number 3 at 1 araw para sa module number 4. At ang kanilang practicum po, yung module 5 ay mula September hanggang November. Kapag natapos na po ng mga district supervisors and division supervisors ang LDM course 2, para naman po sa ating mga guro. No, meron tayong LDM course 2 for teachers na mayroon pong 5 araw din. So inaasahan na mula July 27 hanggang 31, 2020 ay magawa po ito ng ating mga guro. So module 1 na 1 araw, 1 araw sa module 2, 2 araw sa module 3, 1 araw sa module 4, at ang kanilang module 5, which is the practicum, ay sa September hanggang November 2020. Now, paano natin ito maisasagawa sa Kalakhang National Capital Region? Ito po ang mga delivery mechanism. Dahil ito po ay modular, so ang gagamitin po ng ating mga participants ay guided self-study via self-learning modules. At ang ating pong mga self-modules or self-learning modules po ay available via electronic version na pwede po nilang ma-access through online or offline, or pwede din ho natin siyang ma-print. So meron din po tayong mga printed modules po para po sa ating mga participants. Now, aside from guided self-study, no, para ma-check natin na talagang natututo sila, bibigyan namin kayo ng support, no? Bibigyan namin kayo ng support. Ang pangalawang mechanism po, no? Meron po tayong tinatawag na mga learning action cells. So, i-activate po natin ang ating mga learning action cells sa ating pong mga division offices at sa ating mga schools para po magamit ang learning action cells po para sa pagkatuto po no, ng mga iba't ibang modules. Ngayon, hindi lang po learning action cells. Meron din po tayong tinatawag na coaching. So magbibigay po tayo ng coaching and technical assistance, no? At meron po tayong mga kasama ng mga taga central office at mga external coaches po na tutulong sa atin. I-activate din po natin ang regional field technical assistance teams po. So lahat po ng mga member ng RFTAT ay bababa po sa mga SDO po. Magbibigay ho kami ng technical assistance pero through online po ito. And of course, yung ating mga na-trained na mga SDO coaches at syempre yung ating mga mahuhusay at mga magagaling na NAEAP certified learning facilitators. So tatlong mekanismo po ang ating pong gagamitin. Self-study, learning action cells, and coaching and technical assistance provision po. Ngayon po, paano natin siya may implement? No? Ito na po. So sa atin pong mga division and district supervisors, ito po yung ating mga pagdadaanan. Una, kukumpletuhin ninyo ang LDM1 theoretical modules. Pagkatapos ay mag-undergo ng LDM1 practicum. Tapos magsasubmit tayo ng portfolio to national and central office coaches for the assessment na may corresponding professional development credit unit. Pagkatapos po ay meron tayong a-attend na training of coaches for LDM2 kasi ang ating pong mga division and district supervisors, sila po ang ating mga instructional leaders. Ganun din po, mag-undergo ng LDM2 practicum at magsiserve as coaches and technical assistance providers sa ating pong mga school heads at sa ating mga teachers. Now, for the school heads po, the school heads po need to complete the LDM1 theoretical modules, undergo the practicum, prepare the portfolio, tapos submit the portfolio to SDO and RO coaches for assessment. And after po nun, makaka-receive po tayo ng certificate per module with corresponding credit unit and another certificate after having successfully completed the portfolio. For our teachers naman, you need to complete the LDM2 theoretical modules, yung module 1 to 4. Then undergo LDM2 practicum. You need to prepare the portfolio. Submit portfolio to SDO and RO coaches for assessment. And last po, for our certification, you can receive na your certificate per module completed with corresponding credit units and another certificate after having successfully completed the portfolios. Now, syempre, hindi ho namin pababayaan ang mga division, school leaders, and school heads po at mga teachers. So meron po tayong mga terms of reference across governance levels. So we have po the functions and the responsibilities of NAIAP Central Office, of the Regional Office, and of our Schools Division Office. No? For NAIAP Central Office, yan, na-develop na po ang program, ang courses, ang modules, and they will monitor the implementation. Na-orient na po ang ating mga regional office personnel po, ang mga chiefs and mga education program supervisors on how to provide coaching and technical assistance. And the NAIAP CO also will provide technical assistance to RFTAD and RQuad, no? Yung ating pong Regional Field Technical Assistance Division and Regional Quality Assurance Division. Kasama na din po ang HIDD, pero po para sa RFTAD at para sa Quad ay para sa kanilang monitoring and evaluation. Now, in the regional office po, particularly NAIAP region, we will lead in the implementation and orientation of the school po sa ating LDM courses, and ito po ay bahagi na po ng ating pagpapaalam sa nakakarami na magkakaroon po tayo ng LDM courses po sa ating mga division school leaders and school heads as well as sa ating mga teachers. So yeah, we will coordinate meetings with our coaches and facilitate and coordinate the organization of learning action cells among participants. For our FTAD, of course, since they are the one who is, formulating po and establishing our RFTAT, so they will coordinate the assignment of technical assistance providers and coaches and monitor the national and regional TA providers. And of course, for Quad, the monitoring and evaluation of the LDM courses. They will lead and coordinate the M&E of the implementation of LDM to SDOs. And for our SDO, we request po our SDO counterparts to ensure participation and completion of division and school leaders as well as of our school heads and teachers sa pag-finish po ng LDM1 course and LDM course 2. Then, assist the regional office through the NAIAP in the region for the implementation of the RFTAD for the TA for the division. And you need to facilitate also the organization of LACs in the schools division and assist the regional office, particularly the Quality Assurance Division in the monitoring and evaluation of the learning delivery modality course implementation. So wag po tayong mag-alala, no, kahit mahirap po ang ating kalagayan ngayon ay tutulungan po tayo, no? Meron po kayong katulong para lalo po nating maunawaan yung learning delivery modalities, no? So i-activate po natin ang RFTAT, yung ating pong mga coaches and technical assistance providers po ay talagang pong makikipag-coordinate po sa ating mga participants. Now, bukod sa self-guided and independent modules para po ma-ensure natin na talagang smooth ang implementation ng LDM courses, meron po tayong mga support mechanisms para po sa ating mga teachers and school leaders, no? So hindi lamang po enough yung ating mga modules, magde-develop po tayo ng mga micro-learning videos on most essential learning competencies and modalities with the help po of our external partners like po Surge and FitEd. And lahat po ng kanilang mga micro-learning videos po ay i-upload po natin sa DepEd Commons. So magiging available po ito sa ating DepEd Commons and sa other platforms. Aside from the development of micro-learning videos, we will set up also help desk to support continuing professional development through online and offline in different platforms also. And lastly, provision of continuous coaching through learning action cells or individual coaching via online, face-to-face, following the DOH protocols, no? And blended. Pwede po nating pagsamahin ng online and face-to-face. Now, paano po ang assessment and certification ng LDM courses? So prior po to the implementation of LDM, yung ating pong LDM course ay recognized na po ng NAIAP So ito po ay legit na training para po sa ating mga school leaders, division leaders, and teachers. So yung training na makukuha ng supervisors, school heads, teachers, and division leaders po is already a NAEAP recognized training. For assessment, na-mention na po kanina ito, teachers will submit portfolio for assessment to division coaches on per module basis. Ganon din po ang mga school heads, pero hindi po sila sa division magsasubmit, sa regional po, no, level for their assessment of the modules per module basis again. And supervisors submit portfolio for evaluation to national coaches on per module basis. And for the certification, 2 certificates po ang matatanggap ng ating mga participants. Ang isang certificate po ay once they have completed at na-assess na po ang mga modules, so lahat po ng ating participants makaka-receive ng certificate. Then after having successfully completed the portfolio, then all our participants, school leaders, division leaders, and our teachers po will receive again another certificate with corresponding credit units, no? Kasi nasa DepEd 001 yan, series of 2020, na lahat po ng training ay dapat NAEAP recognized. Now, for the monitoring and evaluation, course implementation, the NAEAP Central Office Quality Assurance Division and the Regional Office Quality Assurance Division will perform and coordinate all the M&E activities. And it is expected also that we will be preparing po our monitoring and evaluation plan using the Kirkpatrick's model po. No, we have yung reaction level, learning level, behavior level, and results level. Now, 2 bagay po ang aming imo-monitor, no? We will monitor the module completion. Coaches are primarily responsible for monitoring the module completion. Coach and participant shall agree on the date of the completion of the module, and coach shall keep records of submitted requirements to track progress and coordinate with LAC leaders. So module completion. The other component po that we will monitor in the implementation of LDM course is the LAC and coaching. So yung LAC and coaching po ay 2 po yan sa ating mga delivery mechanisms, no? Coaches and LAC leaders shall monitor the LAC and its schedule and coaching sessions. So we need po to see copies of videos of coaching and or learning action cells, whether online or face-to-face, may be obtained po with participants' consent and shall strictly observe RA 10173 or the Data Privacy Act. So for M&E, module completion, LAC, and coaching ang ating i-consider. So that's it po. Yan po ang ating learning delivery modalities courses for our division leaders, school heads, and teachers. Excited na po ba kayo sa ating mga LDM courses? Alam ko po, excited na kayo sapagkat makakatulong po ito higit lalo sa ating lahat sa pagiging handa po natin sa darating na pasukan po this August 24, 2020. And in closing po, let us share po the quotation po from our Honorable Secretary Leonor Magtolis Briones. Education must continue even in times of crisis, whether it may be a calamity, disaster, emergency, quarantine, or even war. So, muli po maraming salamat po at ating pong ibahagi ang ating pong napanood at napakinggan ngayon about LDM courses po sa ating mga kasamahan na supervisors, school heads, and teachers. Mabuhay po tayong lahat, sulong edukalidad. Maraming salamat po.
Again, this is Miss Anne Bunyag, the Human Resource Development Senior Education Program Specialist of SDO Manila. Okay, so I will now start my presentation. So this, I will present, may highlight lang po ako with regards to the implementation. So I would like to highlight the capacity of teachers and school leaders framework. So this is all based in the PD priorities set under DepEd Memorandum number 50 series of 2020, plus the COVID-19 response, which is the Learning Continuity Plan. So with that, nagkaroon po tayo ng mga LCP courses, programs, regular PD programs and courses for supervisors, school heads, and teachers. So the design and implementation principles and guidelines, we will also send to you the copy of the implementation guidelines para mas maging clear din po sa inyo yung ating implementation ng LDM na ito. And also, we also have internal and external learning service provider for this one. And the main goal, our main objective rather for this LDM is to improve the readiness for remote multimodal learning delivery and informed decision making in choosing appropriate learning delivery modality, and as well as to improve pedagogical content, knowledge, and assessment. And so with that, we'll end up with our goal, quality instructional delivery in the new normal, sulong edukalidad. Next slide, please. Okay. So, ito po yung, kasi malabo yung presentation din kanina ng mga LDM. Ano po ba ang laman ng mga LDM course, topics and modules? So, ang stream 1 po, andyan po ang ating mga division and school leaders. Sila po ang kukuha, kayo po ang kukuha ng LDM course 1. So, ang module 1 is all about the orientation. Module 2, the learning delivery modalities. Module 3, the decision tree and readiness assessment. Module 4, planning for implementation. Module 5 is the technical assistance mechanism. Module 6 is the M&E mechanism and your practicum. While for the stream 2, the instructional part, we have dalawa po ang meron sa stream 2. There is the training for coaches for LDM. Ito po ay para sa mga supervisors. Okay? Ito po ay para sa mga supervisors. No, they also have they have 5 modules, and the 5th module is for practicum. And the LDM course 2, may 5 modules din po. Ito po yung para sa teachers naman. Ayan, para sa mga teachers naman. Ayan. So, hanggang module 5 din po siya. Next. Next slide, please. Okay. So, ito po yung magiging composition ng coaching teams. So, we are the clients. Kayo po ang kanilang mga clients, division and school leaders. And sa LDM2 po, dalawa ang clients natin. May teachers, division and district supervisors, and other instructional leaders in the schools and division. So, ang mga coaches po ninyo, as mentioned by Sir Pogoy, for the division and school leaders, assigned national coaches and external partners, regional supervisors, field technical assistance provider. At para sa mga teachers naman po, nandyan po ang mga ating district and division supervisors and other instructional leaders naman po sa mga schools and division. And para sa mga district and division supervisors, meron naman din silang coach na manggagaling sa central office, external partners, and regional field technical assistance provider. Next slide. Okay. And when it comes to the learning action cells, as mentioned din po kanina, na isa rin siyang pwede nating gamiting modality sa pagsasagawa nitong pag-i-implement nitong LDM. So, let us all be guided with DepEd Order number 35 series of 2016, the guidelines for the Learning Action Cell. Next. Okay, ito na po. Ito na po ang sagot sa mga katanungan kanina. Isa sa mga katanungan na paano yon? Lumagpas na tayo doon sa time frame. Actually, hindi po tayo nag-iisang division na lumagpas sa time frame. No? Marami po kasing hindi din nakasunod doon sa time frame dahil medyo na late po na ilabas. No? So, now we are having our orientation. Ayan na po, naganap na po natin today, July 24. Ito na po ang pinakaiintay ng lahat. Supervisors, school heads, and all division leaders. No? Ito na po, magsisimula na po tayo ng ating Module 1 on Monday. Ayan, Monday na po. Opo, nakikita niyo po? Ayan, Monday na po tayo magsisimula sa Module 1. Ayan. Sa Module 2, magsisimula tayo ng July 28 to 29. Next slide. Sa Module 3, magsisimula po tayo ng July 30. Module 4, July 31. Next slide. Module 5, August 3. Module 4, Module 6, August 4. And start na po tayo ng ating practicum yung sa Module 7 sa August 5. Okay. May mga katanungan po ba tayo dito sa ating timeline? May mga question po ba? Teka, babasahin ko po sa ating chat box.
Hello, ma'am. May question po dito si Sir Joel Junicio.
Ako.
Are head teachers included in this training? If yes, in which group sila kasama?
Later po sila makakasama sa kasama po ng mga teachers.
And then another question from Sir Edmond Villarreal. Magkano daw po ang module? Pa-PM daw po. TY.
Sir Edmond, libre po ang module. Ibibigay po namin mamaya ang link.
Okay. And then another question po from Ma'am June Hayden Sinson. When daw po ang orientation ng teachers?
Okay. Sir, when it comes to the orientation of teachers, this orientation is being recorded. So, ano po, bibigay po namin sa inyo yung link nitong buong naganap po ngayon, and isi-share po natin ito sa mga teachers.
Okay. And then we have last question from Ma'am Marites Labagyes.
Yes, wait
Oo.
lang.
Yes
To
po.
add din po kay Sir Sinson, magkakaroon din tayo ng brief, pero through streaming na lang po yon. Very brief orientation lang po sa teachers dahil doon sa modules nila. Kasi doon sa wala pa po kasi ang modules ng teachers. Hindi pa po ni-upload sa system. So once na i-upload na po yon, gagawan po na panibagong timeline. Yung timeline na po ang ipe-present na lang po sa teachers. Ibibigay na po namin itong orientation na ito sa inyo para mapanood na po nila, and then they will wait for the timeline. Okay, Des. Anong next question?
Merong question dito, ma'am, kung downloadable daw po ba? Ibibigay nyo yung ma'am, yung link? Do we have the link?
Yes, we will give the link, Des. It's downloadable.
Okay. Okay po. Other questions po? Meron pa po ba tayong mga katanungan? Okay. So far, wala na po, Ma'am Ann? Wala na daw pong mga question?
Okay, so let's proceed to the next slide. Okay, so to end this orientation for this afternoon, since wala na po bang mga katanungan, anyway, madali naman po kaming ma-reach kung meron po kayo mga katanungan, and also we will be constantly monitoring the progress din po, progress ng ating pag-aaral dito sa LDM na ito. So, kung magiging ano po tayo, laging keep in touch po tayo lahat. Ayan. Kasi kailangan po namin i-monitor ang progress. Okay, so with that, magandang hapon po. I would like to end this with this quote. Two quotes po siya actually. Quality means doing. Quality means doing it right when no one is looking, by Henry Ford. And also, next slide. And also, a little progress each day adds up to big results. Kaya matatapos po natin ang ating LDM sa tinakdang oras. So with that, again, good afternoon. Maraming salamat po. We will just give the link for this video para mapanood ng teachers, and also po ang link po ninyo para sa inyong mga modules. Maraming salamat po. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma'am Ann, for all the information. So as we continue to confront the issues brought about by the pandemic, we in the Division Office of Manila are addressing challenges through the Learning Continuity Plan, which will be in effect by the time school year 2020-2021 opens on August 24, 2020. So it is our ultimate goal to facilitate the safe return of our teachers and learners to schools without the worry for COVID-19. But until such time is already possible, we will do everything in our capacity to carry on so that basic education will still be available despite the crisis. Again, maraming salamat po. Stay safe po tayong lahat, and magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat.
Thank you. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you po.
Thank you po. Yes, my friend.
Yung
Thank
link
you.
for
Yeah.
teachers po, link for teachers.
Thank you po.
Yes, sige, sir.
Prepare lang po namin.
Thank
We'll
you.
Thank you po, ingat. Ingat.
God bless po.